Hello folks, this is Jay with today's episode of Jay's Tip of the Day. Today I woke up pretty early. I was getting ready for another gun class. I had 8 students sign up for today, so I was kind of excited. And while I was eating my breakfast, I saw a news segment that was coming out of Vero Beach, Florida. Now, it looks like this incident happened sometime this year, 2018. Let me set this up for you. It looked like it was a road rage incident where 2 individuals got into some heated argument and a firearm was introduced into the situation and somebody lost their lives. So watch this news segment and I want you to think whether or not you feel this was justified or not, and you'll see why the state attorney did not prosecute the individual with the firearm, and somebody did die in this road rage incident. So here you go, here's that video.
Case closed. A man accused of shooting and killing another driver in Vero Beach late last year will not face criminal charges. Tonight, the state attorney's office explains why it decided not to file charges. And News Channel 5's Megan McRoberts live now in Vero Beach with new reaction from the victim's family to that decision. Megan?
Kelly, you'll remember that shooting happened at this intersection behind me along State Road 16 in New River County. This was in November of last year. But now the state attorney's office is saying that shooter here did act in self-defense despite the fact the other driver was unarmed.
Let's put it this way, I'm not happy.
Tough news for Timothy Nicol this week, learning the man who shot and killed his stepson, Dennis Hicks, will not face charges.
He got shot in the back 5 times.
It happened the night of November 16th last year. Hicks and another driver, Timothy Sartori, pulled up to this red light. Witnesses said Hicks had been driving erratically. Investigators said Sartori rolled down his window and yelled, quote, "What's your problem, dude?" to Hicks. An argument escalated. Hicks threw his car into park. Sartori locked his doors.
He made a statement like, get the F out of your car, like challenging to, like let's have a rumble out in the street.
Assistant State Attorney Steve Gosnell said Sartori told investigators Hicks threatened to shoot him and began to reach into his back seat. As Hicks started bringing his arm back up, Sartori fired nearly 15 shots at the car, killing Hicks. Sartori called 911.
Yes, I just shot somebody.
But Hicks was not armed after all. But Gosnell says that doesn't matter.
The danger doesn't even have to be real, but it has to be real enough or apparent enough on the face for the shooter to be justified in doing the shooting.
Standard ground laws also keep Sartori from being required to drive away first, even if it would have prevented the shooting.
Stand your ground says you don't have to retreat.
Hicks' family now in talks with an attorney about how to move forward. You may remember some of the shooter's bullets also hit another nearby car that had a toddler inside. We asked the state attorney's office why it won't be filing charges in that incident. That state attorney told me that they're not doing so because that gunfire was just a result of Sartori acting in self-defense, and he did not intend to hit that other car. Sartori also told investigators he did try to avoid that. Reporting live in Indian River County, I'm Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
All right, folks, you saw the news segment. Obviously, the state attorney's office felt that the shooting was justified, and under the new stand your ground law, the individual who had the firearm did not have a duty to retreat or flee or run away, and he could meet force with force, which is interesting that the state attorney did say on the face of the incident, there doesn't have to be a real visible weapon or visible threat, that the perceived threat is enough to use force up to deadly force to stop the immediate threat of physical violence. So it's rare that you actually hear a state attorney speak to the press about why they did not charge an individual. So it's actually a great tool for you who are watching this video to remember that when something like this happens, in some cases you can use force up to deadly force to stop an immediate threat of violence, carjacking, assault, whatever it is. So the only thing I do have questions about is, according to this news segment, this individual fired 15 rounds of ammunition. So that sounds to me that he unloaded his entire magazine out of his gun until it ran dry. And he only hit the suspect, or the guy who died, 5 times. So that means 10 rounds missed the target and actually hit another vehicle on the other side of traffic, and those rounds actually penetrated that vehicle and almost hit a toddler. So this is pretty dangerous, folks. You got to be proficient with your firearm or your weapon system and know how to deliver rounds on target and hit your bad guy. Because this individual fired 15 rounds and 10 of those rounds completely missed the target. And I could almost guarantee that the bad guy who was shot was not bobbing and weaving or moving around. He was more than likely stationary when he reached into the vehicle to grab this perceived weapon, which it didn't really exist. And the guy with the gun fired 15 rounds and only hit him 5 times. This individual is not only lucky that he didn't get charged with a crime, but lucky he didn't kill anybody else. So please practice, people at the gun range. Get very proficient with your firearm. Make sure if the crap hits the fan and you have to deliver rounds on target, look at your backstop. Look at the other innocent civilians that are standing around before you decide to deliver ammunition or rounds towards your suspect. And please hit your suspect. Don't miss. This guy got lucky. Anyways, that's this week episode of Jay's Tip of the Day. I want to close out all my videos by my motto. My motto is prepare your battlefield for success. Thank you.